The one thing you're doing wrong on your way to $100,000. Let's talk about why the first $100,000 is the hardest part and what no one telling you about it. Before we dive in, if advertisements should interrupt this video, please do not click off of the advertisements. Please allow them to play through as a thank you to me for bringing you this valuable information. Now let's continue. Hey everyone. We all talk about wanting to be a millionaire, but nobody ever talks about the first, most important milestone. It's not $1 million. It's not even $500,000. It's that first $100,000. And I'm telling you, it's the hardest part of the entire journey. It's not just a financial challenge, it's a mental one. The first 100 grand will test everything about you. Your discipline, your patience, your belief in the process. It's that brutal phase where you're putting in so much effort, but the progress feels so incredibly slow, like a cruel joke. I remember in my own life, when I was first trying to save, I would look at my account and wonder if something was wrong with me, or if the whole system was just rigged. The truth is, the first $100,000 is supposed to be hard. The moment you understand that, you stop feeling stuck and start feeling unstoppable. Let's be honest, the journey to wealth doesn't start with passive income. It starts with a grind. In the beginning, you are the entire engine. Every dollar you save comes from your hard work, your paycheck, your sacrifice. There are no dividends yet, no rental income, no huge portfolio growing by itself. It's just you trying to get $1,000 to become $2,000. And the worst part is, you'll be doing everything right. You'll be budgeting, saving, packing your lunch, and saying no to fun things. You'll save a few $100s, and then life will throw a flat tire or a surprise medical bill at you. And just like that, all your progress feels gone. You're not failing. The math just hasn't started working for you yet. When your portfolio is tiny, a 10% return is just a rounding error. I remember when my account was only a few $1,000s, a 10% gain was barely enough to fill my gas tank. That's not financial freedom. It's just a drop in the bucket. You feel like you're building a foundation, but the ground keeps disappearing from under you. This does real damage to your motivation. You start thinking, why am I trying so hard if I'm getting nowhere? Maybe I'm just not cut out for this. What you're experiencing isn't failure, it's an initiation. The first $100,000 is a rite of passage. It separates those who want it from those who are willing to fight for it. Most people quit here because no one warns them that it's supposed to feel this way. The first $100,000 feels impossible because of the math. It's not just about discipline, it's about brute force. Let's say you can save $500 a month, which is a great start. That's $6,000 a year. Without any growth, it would take you over 16 years to hit $100,000. Even with a solid 7% return, it's still more than a decade of effort. And that's assuming everything goes perfectly. But real life isn't like that. Cars break, jobs get lost, and emergencies happen. Meanwhile, you're looking at your friends on social media, seeing them buy new things and go on vacations, and you start to wonder, am I doing something wrong? The answer is no. You're just starting from scratch. You're not compounding wealth, you're compounding effort. We're all guilty of comparing our first mile to someone else's 10th. But wealth doesn't grow in a straight line, it grows exponentially. But first, you have to get through that painful, silent, invisible stretch. The early phase is like trying to push a heavy car in neutral. It takes everything you have just to get it to move an inch. But if you keep pushing long enough, the momentum builds, and the car starts rolling on its own. The trick is to survive that flat part of the curve, because that's where 90% of people give up. They quit right before the magic starts. Something strange happens around $30,000, and then again at $50,000, and finally at $100,000. You won't see headlines about it, but you'll feel it. You'll check your investment account one day, and for the first time, it moved on its own. You didn't work extra hours. You didn't save more. You didn't do anything different. But somehow, you made $400, then $700, then maybe even $1,000, just from returns. That's not luck. That's leverage finally kicking in. When your account hits a certain size, your money stops being passive and starts pulling its own weight. You're no longer pushing a dead snowball up a hill. Now the snowball is rolling and getting bigger. At $5,000, a 10% return is just $500 a year. But at $50,000, that's $5,000 a year. At $100,000, that's $10,000 a year, and you didn't lift a finger. This is where you finally feel it. The financial system starts working with you instead of against you. You're no longer just the worker. You're the owner of capital. This is the inflection point. The math bends in your favor. The discipline you built in the hard part now works automatically. The system you created starts reinforcing itself. The pressure doesn't disappear, but it gets so much lighter because your money is finally on your team. Crossing the $100,000 mark doesn't feel like winning the lottery. There are no fireworks or confetti, but something fundamental shifts inside you. Before $100,000, you were the system. Your time and energy were the only forces moving things forward. After $100,000, you become the architect. Instead of pushing every brick into place, you're now designing the blueprint for something bigger. You start asking different questions like, how do I make my money work harder than I do? Why do so few people get there? Because most people don't fail financially. They stall emotionally. They start strong, but then life happens. They get discouraged when they can't save more. They feel behind when their friends spend freely. They slowly sabotage their own progress. The first $100,000 is intentionally hard because it's designed to filter out the casual savers. It's a test of resilience, not intelligence. Here are the 3 traps that kill momentum. 1. Lifestyle inflation. The moment you get a raise, you buy a new phone or a better car. It feels like a reward, but it's actually financial sabotage. 2. Inconsistent habits. You save one month and skip the next. Momentum dies not from a lack of effort, but from a lack of systems. The fix? Automate your savings. 3. Emotional spending. You're stressed, so you spend. You're bored, so you browse. Most people don't need more money. They need fewer emotional leaks. The truth is, many people could reach $100,000 in 5 years, or less if they simply stopped interrupting themselves. But because they give up in the quiet part, they never get to feel what it's like when the system starts working for them. They're always pushing uphill because they never pushed long enough to reach the top. The first $100,000 is difficult because it forces you to build what no amount of money can ever replace. Discipline, structure, and identity. You learn to question every dollar you spend, not out of fear, but out of strategy. You learn to say no, not because you're broke, but because you're building something bigger than temporary comfort. You become the kind of person who reaches $100,000. And you get there not by luck, but by becoming unshakable in a world built on distraction and debt. And when you finally get there, you don't just have $100,000. You have a mindset that will take you far beyond it. You'll know how to resist lifestyle creep. You'll know how to survive market dips. And most importantly, you'll never fear starting over because you'll know what it takes. and you'll know you have it. The journey to your first $100,000 is the slowest, most frustrating part of building wealth. But once you're there, the whole game changes, the math gets easier, and you get stronger. What you built wasn't just money. It was a foundation, a system, an identity. Most people never make it because they stop just short of the curve bending in their favor. They quit in the quiet part. But if you keep going, one day you'll look back and realize the hard part is behind you. If this video helped shift how you see the early stage of wealth building, like and subscribe for more stories like this. And tell me in the comments what's been the hardest part of your journey to your first $100,000. Let's make this a space for real lessons, not just motivation. Disclaimer: this video is for equipping, educating, and empowering and should not be considered financial advice. Investing involves risk. Always consult with a qualified financial professional before making any investment decisions. Your financial well-being is paramount.